No one is coming to do the work for you. No one is going to hand you the life you want on a silver platter. If you've been waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect circumstances, or someone to tell you it's your time, stop waiting. The truth is, success doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who take action. It comes to the people who refuse to make excuses, who choose to take responsibility for their lives, and who are ready to commit, no matter how hard it gets. If you've ever felt stuck, or like the odds were stacked against you, this is for you. This isn't about quick fixes or empty promises. It's about getting real with yourself and realizing that the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be is the choice to show up every day and do what it takes. By the end of this, you'll understand why excuses are holding you back and how you can replace them with real, actionable steps toward the life you've always wanted. You have what it takes. You don't need more time, more resources, or more validation from anyone else. All you need is a decision. A decision to commit, to take charge, and to stop letting excuses control your future. This is your wake-up call. Are you ready to leave the excuses behind and start living the life you deserve? Let's dive in. Chapter 1. Take 100% responsibility. Have you ever realized that your life could change in an instant if you simply decided to take full responsibility for everything that happens to you? This is where true transformation begins. No more waiting for someone to fix things for you. No more blaming your circumstances or other people for where you are right now. Taking 100% responsibility for your life is the most powerful decision you will ever make, and it will set you on the path to success faster than anything else. Think about it. Every time you make an excuse, you're giving away your power. You're telling yourself and the world that you're not in control, that you're a victim of your environment. But here's the truth, you are in control. Maybe not of what happens to you, but absolutely of how you respond to it. That's where your power lies. It's not about blaming yourself or feeling guilty about past mistakes. It's about owning your choices and actions from this moment forward. Let me share a story with you. There was a man who lost his job unexpectedly. He had every reason to blame the economy, his employer, or bad luck. But instead of falling into the trap of excuses, he asked himself one simple question. What can I do now to improve my situation? That single question changed everything for him. He took a hard look at his skills, identified areas where he could grow, and started taking small steps every day to build a better future. Within a year, he was in a job he loved, earning more than he ever had before. The only thing that changed was his decision to take responsibility and act. The same principle applies to every area of your life. Whether it's your career, your health, your relationships, or your personal growth, the moment you stop making excuses and start taking responsibility, you unlock the door to endless possibilities. Excuses keep you stuck. Responsibility sets you free. It's that simple. I know this isn't always easy. Sometimes it feels like life is throwing everything at you all at once. You might be dealing with financial stress, health challenges, or difficult relationships. And it's tempting to look for someone or something to blame. But here's what I want you to understand. Blaming doesn't change anything. It doesn't fix the problem or make you feel better in the long run. It just keeps you in the same place, spinning your wheels and feeling powerless. When you take responsibility, you take back control. You stop waiting for the perfect conditions or someone else's permission to move forward. You start looking for solutions instead of dwelling on problems. You become proactive instead of reactive. And that shift in mindset is incredibly powerful. Imagine you're driving a car. If you're always blaming the road, the weather, or other drivers, you're not paying attention to what you can control: your steering, your speed, your choices. But when you focus on what you can do, you become a better driver. The same is true for your life. You have to take the wheel and steer yourself in the direction you want to go. One of the biggest challenges people face when it comes to taking responsibility is breaking the habit of excuses. Excuses are comforting. They let you off the hook, but they also hold you back. Every time you say, "I don't have time," or "I'm too tired," or "I'll start tomorrow," you're building a wall between yourself and your goals. And the longer you wait, the harder it gets to break through that wall. So how do you start taking responsibility today? The first step is to be honest with yourself. Take a good look at your life and ask, what's working, what's not, what can I do to improve? This isn't about judging yourself or feeling bad about where you are. It's about taking stock so you can make better decisions moving forward. Next, commit to action. It doesn't have to be a big dramatic change. In fact, it's better if it's not. Start small. If you want to improve your health, commit to walking for 15 minutes a day. If you want to grow in your career, spend 10 minutes each morning learning a new skill. The key is consistency. Small actions, repeated daily, lead to big results over time. Another important step is to let go of the past. Maybe you've made mistakes. Maybe you've faced setbacks. That's okay. What matters is what you do next. Dwelling on the past won't change it, but taking responsibility for your future will. Taking responsibility also means surrounding yourself with the right people. Spend time with those who encourage you, challenge you, and hold you accountable. Avoid people who enable your excuses or bring you down. The people you surround yourself with have a huge impact on your mindset and your success. As you start to take more responsibility, you'll notice something incredible. You'll feel more confident, more in control, and more capable of achieving your goals. You'll stop feeling like a victim and start feeling like the hero of your own story. And that's exactly what you are. You have the power to create the life you want. It starts with a choice, a decision to stop making excuses, to take ownership of your actions, and to do the work necessary to achieve your dreams. So let me ask you, what's one thing you can take responsibility for today? Maybe it's a project at work, a conversation you've been avoiding, or a habit you want to change. Whatever it is, take that first step. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. Just start. Because the moment you take responsibility, you take the first step toward the life you've always wanted. No excuses. Chapter 2. Build the discipline habit. Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It's the foundation of every success story, the secret ingredient that separates those who achieve their dreams from those who simply talk about them. Without discipline, even the best intentions fall flat. With it you can achieve almost anything you set your mind to. That's how powerful it is. And here's the thing, discipline is a skill you can build, one small habit at a time. Most people believe discipline is about forcing yourself to do things you don't want to do. They think it's all about self-denial and sacrifice. But the truth is, discipline is about freedom. When you have discipline, you're no longer a prisoner to your impulses, distractions, or excuses. You take control of your time, your energy, and your actions. That's when you start seeing real progress in every area of your life. Let me share something with you. There was a young woman I worked with who wanted to lose weight and get healthier. She'd tried every diet under the sun, but couldn't stick to any of them. When we talked, it became clear that she was relying on motivation to carry her through. The problem with motivation is that it's temporary. It's like a spark. It burns bright, but doesn't last. Discipline, on the other hand, is like a steady flame. It keeps going, even when you don't feel like it. So we started small. She committed to walking for 10 minutes every day, just 10 minutes. It didn't matter if she was tired or busy, she made it a non-negotiable part of her day. Over time, that 10 minutes turned into 20, then 30. She started making healthier food choices, not because she had to, but because she wanted to. Discipline became a habit, and that habit changed her life. A year later, she was in the best shape of her life, not just physically but mentally too. This is the power of building the discipline habit. It's not about overhauling your life overnight. It's about starting small and staying consistent. Pick one thing you want to improve and commit to it, no matter what. Maybe it's waking up 30 minutes earlier to read or exercise. Maybe it's spending 15 minutes a day learning a new skill. Whatever it is, make it a priority. Discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. I know what you might be thinking, but I'm just not a disciplined person. Let me tell you something. No one is born disciplined. It's a skill, not a personality trait. And like any skill, it can be learned. The key is to focus on progress, not perfection. You're going to slip up. You're going to have days when you don't follow through. That's okay. What matters is that you get back on track as quickly as possible. Every time you do, you're reinforcing the discipline habit. Another important thing to remember is that discipline isn't about doing things you hate. It's about doing what needs to be done to get where you want to go. When you have a clear goal, discipline becomes easier because you're focused on the outcome. This is why it's so important to connect your daily habits to your bigger vision. If your goal is to build a successful business, for example, then every hour you spend working on it is a step closer to that dream. When you see the connection between your actions and your goals, discipline stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like empowerment. Here's a little exercise you can try. Write down one goal you're serious about achieving. Then, list 3 small actions you can take every day to move closer to that goal. These actions should be simple and specific. For example, if your goal is to write a book, your actions might be writing for 30 minutes, reading a chapter of a book on writing, and reviewing your notes. Commit to these actions for the next 30 days. Put them in your calendar and treat them like appointments you can't miss. At the end of the month, you'll be amazed at how much progress you've made. One of the biggest challenges with discipline is dealing with distractions. We live in a world that's designed to pull our attention in a million different directions. Social media, emails, notifications, they're all competing for your focus. If you want to build discipline, you have to learn to say no to distractions. This might mean turning off your phone during work hours, setting boundaries with people who interrupt you, or creating a dedicated space for focused work. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Every distraction you eliminate brings you closer to your goals. Another challenge is dealing with setbacks. There will be days when you feel like giving up, days when it feels like you're not making any progress. When that happens, remind yourself why you started. Go back to your goal and visualize the outcome you're working toward. Think about how good it will feel to achieve it. And remember, setbacks are part of the process. They're not a sign that you're failing, they're an opportunity to learn and grow. One of the most rewarding things about building discipline is the ripple effect it has on your life. When you become disciplined in one area, it starts to spill over into other areas. Maybe you start with exercising every day, and that discipline helps you become more focused at work. Or maybe you commit to saving a certain amount of money each month, and that discipline helps you make healthier choices in your diet. The more disciplined you become, the more confident and capable you feel, and that confidence fuels even greater success. So here's my challenge to you. Start today. Pick one habit, one action, one change you want to make. Commit to it for the next 30 days. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. Just start. Because the sooner you start building the discipline habit, the sooner you'll start seeing results. And once you experience the power of discipline, you'll never want to go back. This is your time, no excuses. Chapter 3. Your thoughts shape your life. Your thoughts shape your life. That's not just a catchy phrase or a motivational mantra. It's a truth that plays out every single day. Everything you are right now, and everything you've achieved so far, is a reflection of the thoughts you've consistently held in your mind. And if that idea doesn't sit well with you, if it feels like an uncomfortable truth, that's because it is. But it's also liberating, because if your current reality is shaped by your thoughts, then you have the power to reshape it by changing how you think. Most people go through life without fully realizing just how much their thoughts control their actions and decisions. They let negativity, doubt, and fear take up space in their minds without questioning it. They replay old stories about why they can't succeed or why they're not good enough. But here's the thing, your mind believes whatever you tell it. If you keep feeding it negativity, it will find ways to make that negativity a reality. If you feed it positivity and possibility, it will do the same. Think about it. Have you ever woken up on the wrong side of the bed and told yourself, this is going to be a bad day? What usually happens after that? The day almost always spirals downhill. Not because the universe is out to get you, but because your thoughts set the tone. You start noticing everything that goes wrong, and your mind amplifies it. Now imagine flipping that script. What if instead, you woke up and said, today is going to be a great day? Suddenly, your focus shifts. You start noticing opportunities, kindness, and things to be grateful for. The day hasn't changed. Your mindset has. This isn't about pretending everything is perfect or ignoring challenges. It's about choosing thoughts that empower you instead of thoughts that hold you back. You have the ability to reframe any situation by changing the way you think about it. Let's say you didn't get the job you wanted. It's easy to spiral into self-doubt and think, I'm not good enough, or I'll never succeed. But what if you chose to see it as a stepping stone? What if you told yourself, this wasn't the right fit, but I'm going to learn from this and find something even better? That simple shift in perspective changes everything. It keeps you moving forward instead of getting stuck. One of the most powerful things you can do to shape your thoughts is to pay attention to them. Most of the time, our thoughts run on autopilot. We don't even realize the stories we're telling ourselves. So start by becoming aware. When you catch yourself thinking negatively, pause and ask, is this thought helping me or hurting me? If it's hurting you, challenge it. Replace it with something more empowering. This takes practice, but it's worth it. Over time, you'll start noticing a shift in how you feel and how you approach challenges. Visualization is another powerful tool for shaping your thoughts. Your mind responds to images and emotions even more than it does to words. When you vividly imagine yourself succeeding, your mind starts to believe it's possible. It creates a mental blueprint that your actions can follow. Take a few minutes each day to visualize your goals. See yourself achieving them. Feel the emotions that come with that success. The more real you can make it in your mind, the more likely you are to make it real in your life. Let's not forget the role of gratitude in shaping your thoughts. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's lacking to what's abundant. When you take time to appreciate what you already have, you create a positive mindset that attracts even more good things into your life. Start a daily gratitude practice. It can be as simple as writing down 3 things you're grateful for each morning. Over time, this habit will train your mind to look for the positive in every situation. The people you surround yourself with also play a huge role in shaping your thoughts. If you're constantly around negative, critical, or pessimistic people, it's going to be a lot harder to maintain a positive mindset. On the other hand, spending time with supportive, uplifting, and inspiring individuals will encourage you to think bigger and aim higher. Take a moment to evaluate your circle. Are the people in your life lifting you up or pulling you down? If it's the latter, it might be time to set boundaries or seek out new connections. I know this isn't always easy. Changing your thoughts takes effort, especially if you've been stuck in a negative cycle for a long time. But every small step counts. Start with one thought, just one. Replace one negative thought with a positive one, then another, and another. Over time, these small shifts add up to a completely different mindset and a completely different life. Here's the most exciting part. When you change your thoughts, you change your reality. Your thoughts influence your emotions influence your actions, and your actions create your results. It's a chain reaction that all starts in your mind. So if you want to change your life, start there. Start by choosing thoughts that align with the life you want to create. The question I want to leave you with is this: what are you telling yourself right now? Are your thoughts lifting you up or holding you back? If they're holding you back, it's time to take control. You have the power to think differently, to see things differently, and to create a life that reflects your highest potential. It all starts with a decision. Decide today to take charge of your thoughts. No excuses. Chapter 4. Mastering the Art of Time Management. Time is the one resource you can never get back, and how you manage it defines everything about your life. Think about that for a moment. Every hour that passes is gone forever. It's not like money or possessions. You can't earn more time or replace it once it's lost. Yet so many people treat it casually, letting it slip away without realizing the immense value of each moment. The truth is, mastering the art of time management is one of the most powerful ways to take control of your life and achieve your goals. Most people don't think about where their time goes. They get to the end of the day and wonder why they didn't accomplish what they set out to do. They feel overwhelmed, rushed, and behind. But here's the thing: time management isn't about working harder or cramming more into your schedule. It's about working smarter and making intentional choices about how you spend your time. It's about deciding what matters most to you and aligning your actions with those priorities. The first step to mastering your time is awareness. You need to get clear on how you're currently spending it. Take a day or two to track everything you do, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. Write it all down. You might be surprised by how much time you're wasting on things that don't add value to your life. Whether it's scrolling through social media, watching TV, or getting caught up in distractions, these small, seemingly harmless activities add up. Once you see where your time is going, you can start making changes. One of the most important principles of time management is learning to say no. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. This is why it's so important to be selective about how you spend your time. It's easy to get caught up in trying to please everyone or saying yes out of guilt, but this only leads to frustration and burnout. Instead, focus on saying yes to the things that truly matter to you. Whether it's spending time with your family, working on your goals, or taking care of your health, make sure your time reflects your values. Another powerful strategy is to set clear goals and break them down into manageable steps. When you know what you're working toward, it's easier to stay focused and avoid distractions. Write down your goals and make them specific. Instead of saying, "I want to get in shape," say, "I want to work out for 30 minutes, 5 days a week." Then schedule those workouts into your calendar as non-negotiable appointments. Treat them with the same level of importance as a meeting or a doctor's visit. When you schedule your priorities, they're more likely to happen. Speaking of schedules, creating a daily plan is one of the simplest yet most effective ways to manage your time. Start each day with a clear intention. What do you want to accomplish? What are the most important tasks you need to complete? Write them down and tackle them in order of priority. Resist the urge to multitask or jump from one thing to another. Multitasking might seem efficient, but it actually reduces your productivity and increases stress. Focus on one task at a time. Give it your full attention, and you'll get better results in less time. It's also important to build in time for rest and recovery. Many people think that being productive means working non-stop, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Your brain and body need time to recharge. When you're well rested, you're more focused, creative, and efficient. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, taking breaks throughout the day, and giving yourself time to relax and enjoy life. Remember, productivity isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters most. One of the biggest challenges in time management is dealing with distractions. We live in a world full of interruptions, from notifications on our phones to unexpected demands from others. If you're not careful, these distractions can eat up your entire day. The key is to create an environment that supports your focus. Turn off unnecessary notifications, set boundaries with others, and create a workspace that's free from clutter and distractions. If you're working on something important, let people know you're not available during that time. Protecting your focus is one of the best investments you can make in your productivity. Another thing to keep in mind is that not all tasks are created equal. Some tasks have a much bigger impact on your goals than others. These are your high-value activities, and they deserve the majority of your time and energy. On the other hand, low-value tasks can often be delegated, postponed, or eliminated altogether. Take a look at your to-do list and identify the tasks that will have the greatest impact. Focus on those first, and don't get bogged down by the small stuff. Remember that time management is a skill, and like any skill, it takes practice to master. You're not going to get it perfect overnight, and that's okay. The goal is progress, not perfection. Start with small changes and build from there. Maybe you start by tracking your time for a week. Then you work on saying no to one thing that doesn't align with your priorities. Over time, these small steps add up to big changes. The most important thing to remember is that you are in control of your time. No one else can manage it for you. It's your responsibility to decide how you want to spend it and to take action accordingly. This might mean making tough choices or stepping outside your comfort zone, but the rewards are worth it. When you take charge of your time, you take charge of your life. So, what's stopping you from managing your time more effectively? Is it fear of missing out? A lack of clarity about your goals? Whatever it is, recognize that you have the power to change it. Start today. Make a commitment to yourself to use your time wisely, to focus on what matters most, and to let go of the things that don't. Your future self will thank you for it. Chapter 5. No excuses for your health. You can't outrun your health. No matter how fast or far you try to go, it catches up to you, and when it does, it doesn't ask for your permission. Your health is the foundation of everything. Without it, all the dreams, plans, and goals you have are at risk. You don't need to be a fitness expert to understand the importance of health. All you need is a commitment to yourself, to your future, and to your ability to live a vibrant, energetic, and productive life. We all know what it's like to put our health on the back burner. We tell ourselves, "I'll take care of it tomorrow. I'm too busy right now," or "I don't have the time to exercise or eat right." But what happens when tomorrow never comes? What happens when that busy schedule stretches into years of neglect? What happens is we begin to see the toll it takes on our energy, our happiness, and even our ability to achieve our goals. Taking care of your health is not optional, it's a necessity, and it starts with recognizing that you are the one responsible for your health, no one else. You are in charge. You can no longer blame genetics, your environment, or your circumstances. It's time to look in the mirror and accept that the power to change your health is in your hands. I'm not asking you to become a fitness fanatic or start a radical diet plan. I'm asking you to commit to taking small, consistent steps every day that will transform your energy, your mindset, and your life. It all starts with understanding that your health isn't something you get to take for granted. It's something you have to build, nurture, and protect every single day. I want you to think about your daily habits for a moment. Are they serving you, or are they slowly eroding your health? The decision to be healthy isn't about one big leap. It's about all the small choices you make day after day. It's the decision to drink water instead of sugary drinks. It's the choice to move your body, even if it's just for 10 minutes a day. It's the decision to fuel your body with nutritious food instead of junk. These may seem like small actions, but over time they accumulate, and that's when the real transformation happens. But here's the thing, you can't have the mindset of "I'll start tomorrow" anymore. You have to start now. Health doesn't wait for you to be ready. It doesn't give you a second chance when you keep putting it off. The best time to take responsibility for your health is right now, in this moment. One of the most powerful things you can do for yourself is to get clear about your health goals. Think about how you want to feel. How do you want to look? How do you want to move? And how do you want to live your life? Do you want to wake up feeling energized, ready to take on the world? Do you want to run around with your kids or grandkids without feeling out of breath? Do you want to have the stamina to go after your dreams without being held back by fatigue or illness? It all begins with deciding that your health matters. Make it a priority. No more excuses. No more delays. You've got to decide that you're worth the effort. And that doesn't mean you have to completely overhaul your lifestyle in one day. Start with one small, manageable change. Maybe it's committing to a 10-minute walk every morning. Maybe it's swapping a sugary snack for a piece of fruit. Or maybe it's getting enough sleep each night so you wake up feeling rested and ready to tackle the day. Once you begin, the momentum will build. You might be thinking, "But I don't have time," or "I don't know where to start." These are the exact excuses that hold people back from reaching their full potential. The reality is that if you don't prioritize your health now, you will be forced to deal with the consequences later, and trust me, those consequences will be far more demanding. Whether it's chronic illness, fatigue, or a lack of energy, the price you pay for neglecting your health will always be higher than the effort it takes to take care of yourself. And I know it's not always easy. There will be days when you're tempted to skip that workout, or eat that unhealthy meal, or stay up too late watching TV. But in those moments, remind yourself of your vision for your life. Ask yourself if this choice is moving you closer to your best self or farther away from it. Every decision you make today shapes your future. Every small decision to take care of your health adds up over time, creating the foundation for a life of energy, vitality, and success. Let me tell you something I've learned. The more you take care of your health, the more energy and motivation you'll have to pursue your dreams. It's not just about looking good. It's about feeling good. It's about having the mental clarity to tackle challenges and the physical stamina to push through hard times. When you invest in your health, you are investing in your ability to succeed in every area of your life. And if you're wondering if it's too late to start, let me reassure you, it's never too late. You can always make a change. The key is consistency. Commit to taking small actions every day, and over time, you will notice the shift. It won't happen overnight, but if you stick with it, you will see the results. You'll feel better. You'll be more focused. You'll have the energy to chase your dreams with vigor. When you take responsibility for your health, you are showing up for yourself in the most powerful way. You are telling the world, and more importantly, telling yourself, that you are worth it. You are deserving of a healthy, vibrant life. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Start now. Take that first step. Make your health a priority today, and watch how it transforms every other area of your life. I know it's not always easy, but I can promise you this, you will never regret taking responsibility for your health. The reward is worth every bit of effort. And once you experience the benefits of feeling good, looking good, and having the energy to live your life to the fullest, you won't want to go back to the way things were. Your health is the foundation for everything else you want to achieve in life. It's your most valuable asset, and the sooner you start treating it that way, the sooner you'll be on the path to achieving your greatest potential. You've got this. Now go out there and start taking care of yourself. Chapter 6. Overcoming fear and procrastination. You're never going to be able to outrun fear or procrastination. They will always catch up to you if you don't face them head-on. The truth is, fear is paralyzing, and procrastination is its best friend. They hold you back from living the life you truly want to live. And the longer you let them control you, the more they steal from you. Time, energy, opportunities, dreams, it all slips away little by little. But here's the good news. You have the power to break free. You have the power to stop letting fear dictate your actions and to stop delaying the things that matter most. I know it's easier said than done. I know that when fear grips you, it feels real. It feels like a weight you can't lift off your chest. And procrastination, well, it has a way of convincing you that tomorrow is always a better time to start. But I'm here to tell you, if you keep putting off taking action, tomorrow will never come. The best time to act is right now. Let's talk about fear for a moment. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions we experience, and it has the ability to completely stop us in our tracks. It doesn't matter if it's fear of failure, fear of judgment, or fear of the unknown. Fear is fear, and it stops us from doing the things that could change our lives. What's interesting is that most of the time, our fears are irrational. We fear things that haven't even happened yet. We worry about scenarios that haven't unfolded, and we let our imagination build mountains out of molehills. But here's the truth. The fear you feel is often not as bad as the fear you think. What I mean is that fear is usually more about the anticipation of something happening, not the thing itself. When you face it head-on, you realize that it's not as overwhelming as you made it out to be in your mind. Yes, there may be discomfort, there may be challenges, and yes, you may not have all the answers right away, but you'll never know until you step forward. Fear only has the power that you give it. When you confront it, you take the power back. So how do you overcome fear? You take action. It's that simple. The more you do, the less fear has control over you. When you're in motion, fear has a harder time keeping you stuck. Think of fear as a shadow that only gets bigger the longer you stand still. But the moment you take that first step, that shadow shrinks. Action is the antidote to fear. And let's talk about procrastination for a minute, because it often goes hand in hand with fear. Procrastination is your mind's way of avoiding discomfort. It's easier to push something off than to face it. The problem is, the more you delay, the harder it becomes to take action. It's like standing at the foot of a mountain and telling yourself that you'll climb it tomorrow. But tomorrow never seems to come. And the mountain doesn't go away. It only gets bigger and more daunting the longer you put it off. Procrastination is a silent killer of dreams. Every time you put something off, you're choosing comfort in the moment over progress in the future. It might feel good in the short term to avoid doing the hard thing, but in the long run, you're only delaying your own success. The truth is, success is built on consistent action, not waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment will never come. The perfect time is always now. I want you to ask yourself this: what's the one thing you've been putting off? What's the one task, the one goal that you keep pushing to tomorrow? The moment you decide to tackle that one thing is the moment you take control of your future. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but I promise you that discomfort is temporary. The sense of accomplishment, the relief, and the progress you'll feel once you've taken that first step is priceless. Now, I get it. There are times when fear and procrastination feel so overwhelming that you wonder if you'll ever be able to break free from them. It can be easy to convince yourself that you're just not cut out for it, that you don't have what it takes. But let me tell you something important. You are more capable than you give yourself credit for. The only difference between where you are now and where you want to be is the willingness to step through the fear and start taking action. You're not going to wake up one day and suddenly feel brave or motivated. Motivation is something you create by making the choice to act. It's about building momentum. The first step is always the hardest, but once you take it, you'll start to feel the weight of procrastination and fear begin to lift. You can't wait for motivation to show up. You've got to take action and let it follow. One of the best ways to beat procrastination is to break your tasks down into smaller, manageable steps. Don't look at the whole mountain. Look at the first step. It could be something as simple as setting aside 10 minutes to get started, or even just writing down a plan. Once you take that first step, the rest of the process becomes much easier to tackle. The key is to take action, no matter how small, because that action will start to build the momentum you need to keep going. And don't fall into the trap of thinking that perfection is the goal. Perfection is procrastination's best friend. When you strive for perfection, you're holding yourself back from making progress. Sometimes, done is better than perfect. Start with what you have and improve as you go. You'll never get to your destination if you're waiting for everything to be flawless before you take that first step. Another powerful strategy is to hold yourself accountable. When you commit to doing something, tell someone, tell a friend, a mentor, or even a family member. The moment you share your goals with someone else, you put yourself in a position to follow through. Accountability is a powerful motivator, and it's one of the best ways to stay on track. I want you to understand that fear and procrastination are not the problem. The problem is how long you allow them to control your actions. Every time you let them win, you give away your power. You are stronger than your fears, and you are more capable than your excuses. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the decision to take that first step, no matter how scary or uncomfortable it may feel. I challenge you right now, in this moment, to make the decision to break free from the grip of fear and procrastination. Don't wait for the perfect moment or the perfect plan. Start now, and the momentum will carry you forward. It's time to take back your power, face your fears, and stop letting procrastination hold you back. Your dreams are waiting for you, but they won't wait forever. Start today and watch how quickly your life begins to change. Chapter 7. Clarity equals power. You can't be powerful if you're walking through life with confusion and uncertainty in your mind. Clarity is the foundation of success. Without it, you're simply spinning your wheels, going through the motions without making real progress. When you're clear about what you want, everything becomes easier. Decisions are simpler. Your actions are focused. The distractions fade away. But the opposite is true too. When you lack clarity, you get overwhelmed, you procrastinate, and you waste time and energy on things that don't matter. If you want to take control of your life and achieve what you truly desire, you need clarity. It's not enough to just set goals or hope for the best. You need a crystal clear vision of where you're going and why you're going there. Clarity is what propels you forward. It gives you direction. It gives you purpose. And it enables you to make smarter choices, prioritize your time, and focus your efforts where they will have the greatest impact. So many people go through life just reacting to circumstances, letting the world dictate their next move, unsure of what they truly want. It's a frustrating way to live. You're never going to achieve lasting success unless you take the time to get clear on what you want and where you're going. Without that clarity, it's like trying to drive somewhere without a map. You'll probably end up somewhere, but it won't be where you intended. And along the way, you'll waste a lot of time, energy, and resources. Clarity doesn't just come from thinking about your goals for a few minutes or hoping things will work out. It comes from intentional reflection and action. It comes from sitting down and getting real with yourself about what you want out of life, what your priorities are, and what it's going to take to get there. When you're clear, everything aligns. Your goals become more focused, your time becomes more intentional, and your efforts become far more effective. I've seen this transformation happen in my own life and in the lives of so many others. The people who achieve great things are the ones who take the time to figure out exactly what they want. They don't leave it up to chance. They don't wander around hoping for success to find them. They get clear, they get focused, and they go after it with everything they've got. But how do you get that clarity? How do you break through the fog and make sure you're on the right path? The first step is to get rid of the distractions. We live in a world that's full of noise, full of people telling us what we should do, how we should think, and what we should want. The truth is, most of that noise isn't helping you, it's just making things more confusing. So the first thing you need to do is get quiet. Find time to step away from all the external pressures and take an honest look at what you want. Ask yourself some tough questions. What do you really want? What do you want to accomplish with your life? What's going to make you feel fulfilled and proud? And just as importantly, what are you willing to give up in order to get there? Because clarity doesn't come without sacrifices. You can't have everything at once. You need to be specific. You need to understand what matters most and what you're going to prioritize. That's what gives you clarity. When you've taken the time to really think about what you want, it's time to break it down. You need to create a clear, actionable plan. It's not enough to just have a big vision in your head. You need to put it into concrete steps. Clarity doesn't just mean knowing what you want, it means knowing how to get it. What's the first step? What can you do today to move closer to your goal? What are the small actions you can take that will eventually lead to the big results you desire? Clarity also means understanding your strengths and weaknesses. What are you good at? What do you need to improve? Being honest with yourself about where you're starting from helps you chart a better course. It's not about being perfect. It's about knowing where you're at, so you can make better decisions and take smarter actions. Once you've broken your goals down into actionable steps, it's time to prioritize. When everything is clear, you can see what's most important and what's just noise. There are always going to be distractions. There are always going to be things that try to pull your attention in a million different directions. But when you have clarity, you can say no to the things that don't matter and yes to the things that do. Another key to maintaining clarity is to review your goals regularly. It's easy to get sidetracked, and sometimes we start out with clear intentions only to lose sight of them as time goes on. That's why it's important to check in with yourself. Make sure you're still on track. Adjust as necessary. Your clarity needs to be a living, breathing thing that evolves as you grow and learn. But without those regular check-ins, it's easy to drift. And when things get tough, because they will, remember that clarity is your anchor. When obstacles arise, when you're faced with difficult decisions, your clarity can guide you. It helps you keep your eye on the prize. It helps you stay focused on what truly matters and push through the tough times. Without clarity, it's easy to get lost in the day-to-day struggles. But when you're clear about your goals and your path, those struggles become stepping stones instead of roadblocks. Think about a time in your life when you felt lost or uncertain. How did it feel to not know what to do next? It's a miserable place to be, isn't it? But then think about a time when you had a clear vision of what you wanted and took the steps to get there. How did that feel? It probably felt a lot better, like you had control, like you were moving forward with purpose. That's the power of clarity. Clarity is more than just a mindset. It's the fuel that drives everything else. When you have it, you are in control. You can make decisions quickly and with confidence. You stop wasting time. You stop second-guessing yourself. You stop being overwhelmed by all the choices and distractions around you. And you start living a life that's in line with what really matters to you. This is the power of clarity. It's the difference between drifting through life and living with purpose. So I ask you again, what do you want? Get clear about it. Take the time to reflect, to understand yourself and your goals. Break it down into actionable steps and start moving forward with purpose. The moment you gain clarity, everything begins to change, and that's when you start living the life you were meant to live. Chapter 8. Develop financial discipline. Your financial situation right now is not a reflection of what you deserve. It's a reflection of the choices you've made up until this point. The difference between where you are and where you want to be financially is discipline. It's about making the right decisions over and over again, regardless of how hard it might seem in the moment. So many people think that financial success is something that happens to a lucky few, or that it's out of their control. But the reality is that financial discipline is something you can develop and master, just like any other skill. If you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, if you're tired of feeling stressed every time an unexpected bill comes up, it's time to take control of your finances. This is about taking responsibility for your financial future. No more excuses. The power is in your hands to turn things around, to create the stability and freedom you've always wanted. It all starts with the choices you make today and the way you manage your money moving forward. Think about it. We all get the same 24 hours in a day. We all have the same opportunities to earn, to save, and to grow our wealth. But what separates the people who succeed financially from the people who struggle is discipline. It's about how you manage your money, how you choose to spend it, and how you make decisions that align with your long-term goals. This isn't about having the most expensive car or the biggest house. It's about building a solid foundation for your future. And that foundation is built on smart, consistent financial habits. First, let's be clear about something. Financial discipline is not about deprivation or living in misery. It's not about denying yourself the things you love or feeling guilty every time you spend. It's about making smarter choices that allow you to have both financial freedom and the ability to enjoy your life. It's about balance. It's about understanding that every decision you make today has an impact on your financial future, and that impact can either work for you or against you. One of the biggest challenges people face when it comes to money is the temptation to live beyond their means. It's easy to get caught up in the moment, to buy the newest gadget, the trendy clothes, or to go on vacations you can't afford. Living in the moment can feel good right now, but the reality is that it's holding you back from achieving the financial freedom you desire. Every time you make a purchase that doesn't align with your goals, you're making it harder to reach those goals. The key is to ask yourself, does this purchase move me closer to my long-term vision, or is it just something that will give me temporary satisfaction? This is where financial discipline comes into play. It's about making decisions that may not feel as rewarding in the short term, but that will pay off exponentially in the long run. That doesn't mean you have to live a life of complete restriction, but it does mean you need to get clear on your priorities. What's more important to you, having a new outfit every season, or having enough savings to feel secure? What's more important, driving a luxury car or owning your own home outright? When you start thinking about your finances in terms of your long-term goals, it becomes easier to make decisions that serve you. Every dollar you earn should be treated like an investment in your future. That doesn't mean that you need to become a financial expert overnight, but it does mean you need to start treating your money with the same respect and care that you would give any other important asset. One of the first steps you can take to build financial discipline is to create a budget. I know the word budget often gets a bad rap, but it's not a restriction, it's a tool for freedom. When you create a budget, you're telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. You're making sure that every dollar is working for you, that every dollar is going towards something that will either build your wealth or contribute to your future security. Start by tracking your expenses and categorizing them. What are your fixed expenses, things you have to pay each month, like rent, utilities, and insurance? What are your variable expenses, things that fluctuate, like groceries, gas, and entertainment? Once you have a clear picture of where your money is going, you can identify areas where you can cut back or reallocate your funds. The goal is to make every dollar count. Next, let's talk about saving. It's so easy to say, I don't have enough money to save, but the truth is everyone can find a way to save, no matter how little they're earning. It's about making saving a priority, even if it's just a small amount at first. The key to saving is consistency. Start small, put aside $10, $20, $50, or whatever you can afford, and make it automatic. The more you automate your savings, the less likely you are to dip into it for unnecessary purchases. Over time, those small contributions will grow into a significant savings fund that can support your future dreams, whether it's buying a home, starting a business, or building an emergency fund. Along with saving, you also need to think about investing. This is where a lot of people fall short. They save money, but they don't make it work for them. Investing is a powerful tool for building long-term wealth. The earlier you start, the more time your money has to grow. That's why it's so important to learn about the different investment options available to you. You don't need to be an expert, but you should have a basic understanding of things like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and real estate. The more you educate yourself, the more confident you'll feel in making decisions that can help you grow your wealth over time. But perhaps the most powerful way to build financial discipline is to develop the mindset of a long-term thinker. We live in a world of instant gratification. We want everything now, and we want it easy. But the people who succeed financially are the ones who think about the long game. They're willing to delay short-term pleasure in exchange for long-term gains. They're willing to make sacrifices now, knowing that the rewards will be worth it down the road. Take a moment to think about where you want to be financially in 5 or 10 years. Picture your life. What does it look like? How do you feel about your financial situation? What kind of freedom do you have? Now think about what you need to do today to get there. The choices you make today, no matter how small, add up to the future you'll have tomorrow. Building financial discipline takes time, and it's not always easy, but the rewards are well worth it. When you start making conscious, intentional decisions with your money, you'll start to see the fruits of your labor. You'll begin to feel empowered, secure, and confident in your ability to create the financial future you've always dreamed of. It's all about making small, smart choices consistently, day after day, year after year. And when you commit to doing that, your financial life will never be the same again. Chapter 9. Build relationships that matter. The quality of your relationships will determine the quality of your life. It's that simple. No amount of success, wealth, or status can make up for the emptiness that comes from a lack of meaningful connections. We are social beings, and the relationships we build with others shape who we are, how we feel, and the way we navigate the world. If you want to live a fulfilling, purposeful life, you need to focus on building strong relationships that support you, challenge you, and help you grow. Think about the people in your life right now. How do they make you feel? Are they lifting you up or dragging you down? Are they encouraging your growth, or are they holding you back? The people you surround yourself with are either making you better or making you worse. That's a harsh truth, but it's one that we need to face if we want to live a life of success and fulfillment. One of the most powerful things you can do for yourself is to build relationships that matter. And I'm not just talking about relationships with your family or romantic partners, although those are certainly important. I'm talking about all relationships, the people you work with, your friends, your mentors, and even the acquaintances you meet along the way. Every relationship you form has the potential to impact your life in a profound way. And the quality of those relationships can either propel you forward or hold you back. The first step in building relationships that matter is understanding that relationships are not just about what you can get from them, but what you can give. Too often, people enter relationships with the mindset of what's in it for me. They're looking for someone to meet their needs or fulfill their desires. But the best relationships are built on mutual respect, trust, and the desire to add value to each other's lives. When you shift your focus from what you can take to what you can give, you'll find that the relationships you form become deeper, more meaningful, and more rewarding. Start by being genuinely interested in others. Take the time to learn about their lives, their challenges, and their dreams. When you show a genuine interest in other people, they will naturally feel a stronger connection with you. People want to feel seen and heard, and when you make an effort to listen and understand, you create a bond that goes beyond surface-level interaction. This is how trust is built. This is how friendships are formed. Next, be someone who is dependable. Trust is the foundation of any strong relationship, and trust is built through consistency. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you commit to being there for someone, be there. People need to know that they can rely on you, and when you show up consistently, you demonstrate that you are a person of integrity. Asterisk. Reliability doesn't mean perfection. It just means that you're someone who can be counted on, and that goes a long way in forming lasting relationships. But trust isn't built overnight. It takes time, and it takes effort. That's why it's so important to be patient with the process of building relationships. Asterisk. Relationships are investments that require nurturing, care, and attention. Asterisk. Don't expect instant results, and don't give up when things don't immediately go the way you want. The key is persistence. Keep showing up, keep being genuine, keep giving. Over time, your relationships will deepen, and you'll see the rewards of your efforts. In addition to giving and showing up, it's also important to challenge yourself, to surround yourself with people who are going to push you to become the best version of yourself. Asterisk. The people you spend the most time with are either elevating you or holding you back. Asterisk. That's why it's so important to be selective about who you allow into your inner circle. If you want to grow, you need to be around people who are growing too. If you want to be successful, you need to be around people who are successful. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you to think differently, who hold you accountable to your highest potential. Asterisk. These are the people who will help you rise to the occasion when things get tough. Asterisk. These are the people who will encourage you to keep going when you feel like giving up. Asterisk. They won't let you settle for mediocrity. They will push you to be better, to aim higher, and to believe in yourself more than you ever thought possible. Asterisk. But it's not just about surrounding yourself with the right people. You also need to be the kind of person who attracts those kinds of relationships. Asterisk. If you want to be around positive, motivated, successful people, you need to be positive, motivated, and successful yourself. Asterisk. This is a mirror effect. The relationships you attract are a reflection of the energy and mindset you bring to the table. If you want to attract supportive, growth-minded individuals, you need to be supportive and growth-minded yourself. It starts with you. Now let's talk about the relationships that can really take your life to the next level. The mentors and the people who have already walked the path you want to walk. Asterisk. These are the people who can guide you, who can share their wisdom and experience, and who can help you avoid the mistakes they've made. Asterisk. Mentorship is one of the most powerful tools you can have for your personal growth and success. Asterisk. If you're serious about achieving your goals, you need to find mentors who can help you navigate the challenges ahead. Don't be afraid to reach out to people who inspire you, who have accomplished what you want to accomplish. Asterisk. The worst they can do is say no, but the best they can do is help you shortcut your way to success. Asterisk. But mentorship isn't just about receiving, it's also about giving. Asterisk. A true mentor-mentee relationship is built on mutual respect and a willingness to give back. Asterisk. If you have the opportunity to mentor someone else, take it. There's incredible growth that happens when you help others. It's one of the most rewarding things you can do, and it strengthens your own relationships and leadership skills. Building meaningful relationships isn't just about your inner circle or your professional network. Size. It's also about the way you treat everyone you meet. Asterisk. The cashier at the grocery store, the waiter at the restaurant, the person who helps you with your car. Every interaction is an opportunity to make a positive impact. Asterisk. The more positive, kind, and respectful you are toward others, the more you build a reputation as someone who adds value to the world. Asterisk. Now I want to acknowledge something that's important. Not all relationships are meant to last forever. There are people who will come into your life for a season, and there are people who will stick around for a lifetime. It's okay to outgrow relationships that no longer serve your growth or align with your values. 6. Don't be afraid to let go of relationships that are toxic, draining, or limiting. It's better to walk away than to stay stuck in a relationship that is holding you back. At the same time, don't take relationships for granted. We often think that people will always be there, that we have all the time in the world to strengthen our bonds. But the reality is that life is unpredictable. People come and go. The people you love and care about deserve your attention, your time, and your energy. Don't wait until it's too late to show them how much they mean to you. Building strong, meaningful relationships is one of the most powerful things you can do for your success and your happiness. The people you surround yourself with will either lift you up or drag you down, so be intentional about the relationships you cultivate. Take the time to invest in others, to listen, to support, and to give. Surround yourself with people who inspire you to be better and be that person for others. When you do this, you will create a network of relationships that will help you achieve your goals, fulfill your purpose, and live a life that truly matters. Chapter 10. Be a lifelong learner. The best investment you can ever make is in yourself. It sounds simple, but it's the truth that so many people overlook. If you want to grow, if you want to create a life of success and fulfillment, the single most important thing you can do is commit to being a lifelong learner. This is not just about gaining more knowledge, it's about becoming a better version of yourself every single day. The moment you stop learning is the moment you stop growing. And if you stop growing, you stop achieving everything you're capable of. The world is constantly changing, and to stay ahead, you need to adapt, evolve, and learn new things continuously. We all start at different places, and we all have different challenges. But the one thing that separates the people who reach their goals from those who don't is the commitment to learning and improving. The most successful people are not the ones who know it all. They're the ones who keep asking questions, who stay curious, who constantly look for ways to improve. They know that no matter how far they've come, they can always get better. Look at the most successful people in any field. They're usually the ones who spend the most time learning. They read books, they attend seminars, they find mentors, and they invest in themselves. They're always hungry for knowledge. They understand that learning doesn't stop after school. It's a lifelong process. And it's this constant drive to learn that keeps them on the path to success. The first step in becoming a lifelong learner is realizing that you don't know everything, and that's okay. In fact, it's not just okay, it's the starting point for growth. The most dangerous mindset you can have is to think you have all the answers. The world is full of information, opportunities, and insights, and if you close yourself off to new learning, you're closing yourself off to potential. Think about the things you want to achieve in your life. How are you going to get there if you don't keep learning? Knowledge is the foundation on which all success is built. If you don't know how to achieve your goals, how can you take the necessary steps to get there? So, what does it mean to be a lifelong learner? It means that no matter where you are in life, you're committed to improving. It means taking the time to read, to study, to ask questions, and to challenge yourself. It's about seeking out new information, even if it's outside of your comfort zone, asterisk, asterisk, and then using that information to make better decisions and take smarter actions. A lifelong learner understands that there's always room for growth, and they take advantage of every opportunity to learn something new. One of the best ways to start is by reading. It doesn't matter whether you're reading books, articles, or even blogs. What matters is that you're consuming information that will help you grow. Asterisk, asterisk, reading is one of the easiest and most powerful ways to expand your knowledge. Asterisk, asterisk. The great thing about reading is that it's available to everyone, no matter where you live or how much money you have. There are thousands of books on almost every subject imaginable, from personal development to leadership to finance to relationships. And the best part is that the knowledge you gain from these books can help you in almost every aspect of your life. If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, read books on business and leadership. If you want to improve your health, read about nutrition and exercise. If you want to develop better relationships, read about communication and emotional intelligence. Every time you read, you're learning something new that can help you become better. And the more you read, the more you start to see the world differently. You begin to understand how people think, how businesses operate, how to communicate more effectively, and how to make better decisions. But don't just stop at reading. Attend seminars and workshops. Go to conferences. Surround yourself with people who can teach you and challenge you. Asterisk, asterisk. Learning is not just about what you read, it's about what you experience and who you interact. Asterisk, asterisk. When you're in an environment of learning, you're more likely to be inspired, to make connections, and to gain insights that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. If you can, find mentors, people who have already achieved what you want to achieve, and learn from their experiences. They can offer guidance, provide wisdom, and point you in the right direction. It's also important to remember that learning doesn't have to always be formal. Asterisk, asterisk. Some of the best lessons come from life itself. Asterisk, asterisk. Every challenge you face, every setback you encounter, every mistake you make is an opportunity to learn. It's how you handle those situations that determines your growth. If you view every difficulty as a learning experience, you'll find that even the most challenging moments can be valuable teachers. The key is to asterisk, asterisk. Stay curious, asterisk. Ask questions. Explore new ideas. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. The world is full of opportunities to learn, and when you actively seek them out, you open yourself up to new possibilities. Think about the people you admire most. What are they doing differently than you? What do they know that you don't? There's always something to learn from others, no matter how successful they are. And remember, learning is not a one-time event, it's a daily commitment. Asterisk, asterisk. You don't have to make huge changes all at once. It's the small, consistent efforts that add up over time. Asterisk, asterisk. Just like with any other skill, the more you practice, the better you become. Start with reading for just 15 minutes a day. Listen to podcasts while you commute. Take an online course in your spare time. The more you commit to learning, the more you'll see the results. As you continue to learn, you'll start to see the world in a new light. You'll begin to see opportunities everywhere you look. Asterisk, asterisk. And the more you learn, the more confident you'll become in your ability to achieve your goals. When you know more, you're better equipped to make smart decisions. You'll have the knowledge and tools to tackle any challenge that comes your way. And the more you know, the more you'll be able to help others too. Lifelong learning is about growth, both personally and professionally. It's about constantly pushing yourself to be better, to know more, and to do more. It's about realizing that there's no finish line in learning. There's always something new to discover, always a new way to grow, always another level to reach. Asterisk. The moment you commit to being a lifelong learner, you unlock the potential for infinite growth. Asterisk. So, make the decision today. Commit to being a lifelong learner. Read, study, explore, and grow. Asterisk. Invest in yourself every day. Asterisk. The knowledge you gain today will pay off tomorrow, and the person you become will shape the life you live. There's no limit to what you can achieve when you never stop learning. Chapter 11. Take charge of your career. The world doesn't wait for anyone. If you're not in the driver's seat of your own career, you're letting someone else control the wheel. And when someone else is steering, it's easy to get lost, to find yourself stuck in a dead-end job, or to simply go through the motions day after day without feeling like you're truly achieving anything. You can either take charge of your career and shape it into something that fulfills you, or you can let it happen to you and risk being left behind. The difference between the two is all about mindset, and it's time to make the choice. Think about it. Every day you're faced with choices about how you show up at work, how you perform, and how you position yourself for the future. Too many people don't take full responsibility for their career path. They wait for a promotion. They wait for the right opportunity. They wait for someone to notice their hard work. But here's the reality. Asterisk. Opportunities don't just fall into your lap. You have to create them. Asterisk. If you want to advance in your career, you need to take action, and you need to take charge of your professional journey. It all starts with your mindset. Asterisk. Are you in the driver's seat, or are you just a passenger along for the ride? People who take charge of their careers understand that they are responsible for their own success. No one else is going to make things happen for you. If you want something, you have to go after it. This means setting clear goals for yourself, taking consistent action toward those goals, and positioning yourself as someone who is always looking to grow and improve. Taking charge of your career means being proactive, not reactive. Instead of waiting for opportunities to come to you, you go out and create them. That means you're constantly looking for ways to add value, whether that's through improving your skills, taking on new responsibilities, or simply showing up with the right attitude every single day. People who take charge of their careers don't sit around waiting for someone to hand them a promotion. They take ownership of their work and their future, and they make things happen. One of the most important things you can do is take control of your learning and development. Asterisk. If you're not constantly learning and growing, you're falling behind. Asterisk. The world is changing at a faster pace than ever before, and if you're not keeping up with new technologies, trends, and skills, you're going to be left in the dust. This is especially true in today's fast-moving job market. The people who thrive are the ones who are constantly looking for ways to improve themselves and adapt to the changing landscape. Start by identifying the areas where you need to grow. What skills are in demand in your industry? What knowledge do you need to gain to stay competitive? There are so many resources available today, from online courses to books to workshops. Make it a point to invest in your own growth and development every day. When you take charge of your learning, you not only become more valuable to your employer, but you also position yourself for future opportunities. But taking charge of your career also means making sure that others see your value. It's not enough to do good work. You have to make sure people notice it. Asterisk. There's an art to self-promotion that doesn't involve bragging or boasting. It's about making sure that your contributions are recognized and appreciated. If you're doing great work but no one knows about it, you're selling yourself short. You have to find ways to highlight your achievements, whether that's through sharing results with your team, taking on projects that showcase your skills, or simply having conversations with your manager about your accomplishments. Taking charge of your career also means taking risks. You have to be willing to step outside your comfort zone, to take on challenges that scare you, and to push yourself to do things that feel uncomfortable. The people who make the most progress in their careers are the ones who aren't afraid to fail. They understand that failure is part of the process, and they use it as a learning experience to get better. So when was the last time you took a risk at work? When was the last time you went after a project that felt outside of your expertise or skill set? Asterisk. If you want to grow, you have to embrace the discomfort of the unknown. Asterisk. The more you challenge yourself, the more you'll discover just how much potential you have. Taking charge of your career means saying yes to the things that scare you, because you know that's where the growth happens. But there's another key to taking charge of your career, and that's having the right support system. You can't do it alone. Asterisk. No one achieves great success by themselves. Asterisk. Building relationships with mentors, colleagues, and other professionals is vital to your career advancement. Mentors can guide you, offer advice, and help you avoid mistakes. Colleagues can provide support, share insights, and challenge you to grow. Surround yourself with people who will push you to be better, who will celebrate your successes, and who will hold you accountable to your goals. A great support system also means knowing when to ask for help. Sized. There's no shame in reaching out for guidance, support, or advice. Asterisk. If you're stuck in your career, or if you're unsure of what direction to take, seek out someone who's been there before. Ask them how they navigated similar challenges and what they would do in your shoes. People who take charge of their careers are not afraid to ask for help when they need it. They know that learning from others is one of the quickest ways to grow. Now let's talk about something that's often overlooked. Work-life balance. Taking charge of your career doesn't mean working yourself into the ground. Asterisk. If you want to sustain success over the long term, you need to make time for the things that matter outside of work. Asterisk. This means prioritizing your health, spending time with loved ones, and pursuing passions that give you joy. When you take care of yourself outside of work, you become more focused, energized, and productive when you're on the clock. So don't fall into the trap of thinking that the more you work, the more successful you'll be. The key is working smarter, not harder, and making sure you have a healthy balance between work and personal life. The bottom line is this: if you want to take charge of your career, you have to be intentional about every step you take. It's not just about doing your job, it's about constantly looking for opportunities to grow, to improve, and to create the future you want. Asterisk. You have the power to shape your career, but it requires commitment, action, and a willingness to step out of your comfort zone. Asterisk. When you take charge of your career, you take charge of your future, and that's where the magic happens. Chapter 12. Set high standards. The moment you set your standards higher, everything begins to shift. You stop settling for what you've always known, and you start reaching for what you know is possible. Standards are everything. They dictate the way you think, the way you work, and ultimately the results you get. The problem is, most people don't realize how powerful their standards are until they experience the consequences of setting them too low. If you want a life of success, fulfillment, and growth, you need to raise your standards. You have to hold yourself to a level of excellence that others might think is impossible. You have to stop accepting mediocrity as your baseline and start demanding more from yourself every single day. When you do that, you unlock your potential. Your standards shape your actions. Think about the things you do each day. When you have high standards for yourself, you approach everything with more focus, discipline, and commitment. Whether it's how you treat your body, how you show up at work, or how you interact with others, when your standards are high, you elevate everything around you. But when your standards are low, it's easy to fall into a pattern of complacency. You stop striving for better. You get comfortable with where you are, even if you know deep down that you're capable of more. I've seen this happen countless times. People work hard, but they never seem to get anywhere because their standards aren't high enough. They settle for what's comfortable, and they let fear of failure or rejection hold them back from reaching their full potential. But here's the truth. Asterisk. If you want to succeed, you have to stop playing it safe. Asterisk. You have to challenge yourself. You have to push yourself to do better, be better, and want more. This doesn't mean you need to have unrealistic expectations for yourself. It means that you need to set goals that are high enough to push you, but achievable enough that they drive you to take action. It's about constantly striving to be the best version of yourself, even when it feels difficult. When your standards are high, you hold yourself accountable. You don't let yourself make excuses or back down from challenges. You understand that every obstacle is an opportunity to grow, and that the discomfort of pushing yourself is a sign that you're moving in the right direction. Take a look at the people who inspire you, the ones who are doing amazing things in the world. They didn't get there by setting low standards for themselves. They held themselves to a higher standard than most people could imagine. They pushed through the hard days. They faced failure and disappointment, and kept going because their standards for success were so much higher than the circumstances they were facing. They knew that in order to get the results they wanted, they had to take bold action and continuously raise their own standards. But here's the thing, raising your standards isn't just about pushing yourself harder. It's also about changing the way you think. It's about shifting your mindset to one that expects success, that expects growth, and that expects to achieve great things. When you set high standards, you begin to expect more from the world around you as well. You stop tolerating negative people, toxic environments, or anything that doesn't align with the life you want to create. Your standards become a reflection of who you are and who you're becoming. This is where it gets powerful. Asterisk. The more you raise your standards, the more you inspire others to raise theirs. Asterisk. When you hold yourself to a higher level, others around you begin to notice. They start seeing the way you work, the way you think, and the way you show up. And whether they realize it or not, they begin to raise their own standards because they want to be around that energy. When you show up at your best, you give others permission to do the same. And let's not forget the power of saying no. When you raise your standards, you start saying no to things that don't align with your goals, your values, and your vision for your life. You stop accepting things that are beneath you, whether it's a job, a relationship, or a way of thinking. You protect your time and energy because you know they are the most valuable resources you have. By saying no to the wrong things, you open up space for the right things to come into your life. And that's where the magic happens. The thing about high standards is that they make you uncomfortable, and that discomfort is exactly what drives growth. You'll never grow if you're always comfortable. Asterisk. If you want to expand your potential, you have to get used to discomfort. You have to be willing to step into situations where you might fail, where you might stumble, but where you're also going to learn and become stronger. Because that's what high standards require. They require you to constantly level up. Here's the key. Raising your standards isn't just about aiming higher. It's about becoming the kind of person who naturally operates at a higher level, It's about stepping into your potential and making a commitment to excellence, no matter the circumstances. When you raise your standards, you stop being passive in your own life. You become active. You take control of your destiny, and you set the tone for everyone else around you. When you start holding yourself accountable to higher standards, you start doing things you never thought you could do. You start accomplishing things that seemed out of reach. You start seeing opportunities where others see roadblocks. And the best part, you begin to live a life that feels purposeful and fulfilling, because you're not just going through the motions, you're actively building the life you want. So ask yourself, what are your standards right now? Are they where you want them to be? If not, it's time to raise them. It's time to commit to excellence in everything you do. It's time to stop settling for average and start demanding the best from yourself. When you do this, the results you get will blow your mind. Your future is shaped by the standards you set today, the goals you achieve, the success you experience, and the person you become. All of it depends on the standards you hold for yourself. So raise those standards, expect greatness from yourself, and watch as everything around you begins to align with that vision. You have what it takes to live a life of excellence, and it all starts with the standard you set for yourself today. Chapter 13. Learn to say no. You can't be everything to everyone, and you shouldn't try. The power in your life comes not from saying yes to every opportunity that comes your way, but from learning how to say no to the things that don't serve your highest goals. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your vision, you're essentially saying no to something that could move you closer to where you want to be. And that's a mistake many of us make without even realizing it. Think about how often you say yes out of habit, out of fear of disappointing someone, or simply because you don't want to rock the boat. We've all been there. We've all felt the pressure to please others, to be available, to do what's expected. But here's the truth. Saying yes all the time is actually a form of self-sabotage. It spreads you thin, drains your energy, and takes time away from the things that truly matter. Saying yes to everything is a surefire way to burn out and lose focus. In order to be truly effective and achieve meaningful success, you need to master the art of saying no. Saying no isn't about being rude or rejecting people. It's about protecting your time, your energy, and your focus, It's about recognizing that your life is precious, and you have a limited amount of time to achieve your goals and fulfill your potential. Every yes you give is a commitment of your time, and it's crucial to make sure that every commitment is one that moves you in the direction you want to go. Start by recognizing that not every opportunity is a good one, no matter how tempting it may seem. Just because someone asks you to take on a new project, attend a meeting, or be part of a committee doesn't mean you have to say yes. Every opportunity might seem important in the moment, but when you say yes to something that doesn't align with your goals, you're saying no to something that could bring you closer to your dreams. You have to get clear about your priorities. What are the things that really matter to you? What are the goals that you're striving for? Once you have clarity on that, it becomes easier to say no to anything that doesn't align with your bigger vision. Your goals become your filter, and if an opportunity doesn't fit into your goals, then it's not something you should be saying yes to. Saying no also means protecting your peace. We live in a world where distractions are everywhere. It's so easy to get caught up in things that don't really matter, to get pulled into drama or time-consuming commitments that only serve to drain your mental and emotional energy. When you learn to say no, you create space for yourself. You protect your peace and your focus so that you can pour your energy into the things that will have the most impact on your life. Saying no is not just about saying no to other people. It's about saying yes to yourself, your well-being, and your long-term goals. One of the most powerful things you can do is to say no to the things that are holding you back. That might mean saying no to people who drain your energy or bring negativity into your life. It might mean saying no to unhealthy habits that prevent you from being your best self. It might even mean saying no to past versions of yourself that are no longer serving your growth. Saying no to these things is not selfish, it's necessary for your personal development. If you're constantly saying yes to things that are not aligned with your future, you're simply holding yourself back from becoming the person you're meant to be. Another powerful reason to say no is to give yourself the time and space to focus on what really matters. You have big goals, you have dreams, but if you're constantly juggling a dozen different things, it's hard to make meaningful progress. By learning to say no to the distractions, the extra tasks, and the commitments that don't move you forward, you free up time and energy to focus on the things that will get you closer to your goals. Whether it's spending more time on your personal growth, diving deeper into a project that excites you, or just having the mental space to think, saying no is a tool for creating that space. But here's the thing. Saying no isn't easy. It's uncomfortable. It's hard to disappoint people, to set boundaries, or to walk away from opportunities that seem appealing. But the discomfort you feel when you say no is a small price to pay for the massive rewards that come from saying yes to the right things. The more you practice saying no, the easier it becomes, and the more you begin to see the benefits of protecting your time and energy. Think about how much more you could achieve if you stopped saying yes to everything. Imagine how much more focused, energized, and productive you could be if you only said yes to things that truly align with your goals. Picture a life where you're in complete control of your time, where you have the ability to focus on the things that matter most and eliminate the distractions that hold you back. That's the power of saying no. And it's not just about saying no to others, it's also about saying no to yourself. We all have our distractions, things that tempt us to procrastinate or avoid the hard work required to reach our goals. Whether it's scrolling through social media, binge-watching TV shows, or indulging in habits that waste time, these are the things you need to say no to if you want to be successful. When you learn to say no to these distractions, you create more room for focus, productivity, and results. Another important thing to remember is that saying no doesn't mean you're rejecting people. It doesn't mean you're being unkind or uncaring. It simply means you're being clear about what you can and cannot do. When you say no with confidence and clarity, you show respect for your time and your priorities. And when you do this, others will respect your decision as well. The people who truly care about you will understand that you're saying no because you're committed to your goals, and they will support you in that decision. If you want to become the best version of yourself, you have to stop allowing every request, every opportunity, every person to dictate your time and energy. Instead, you need to become deliberate about where you invest your resources. Saying no is one of the most powerful ways to take control of your life and shape your future. Every time you say no, you're making a choice about how to live a life that is purposeful, focused, and aligned with your deepest values. So the next time you feel the pressure to say yes, stop and ask yourself, does this serve my bigger vision? Does this align with my goals and my values? If the answer is no, then it's time to practice saying no with confidence. The more you do it, the more you'll realize that saying no is one of the most empowering decisions you can make. It's not about rejecting people or opportunities, it's about protecting your future and your peace. and in the end, that's what will lead you to success. Chapter 14. Develop grit and resilience. The road to success isn't a straight line, and it's not always easy to keep going when things get tough. But the one thing that will always keep you moving forward, no matter what comes your way, is grit, Grit is that fire in your belly that refuses to go out, no matter how many times you fall, how many setbacks you face, or how many people tell you to quit. It's the strength that pushes you to keep going, even when the journey feels impossible. And trust me, if you're serious about reaching your goals and becoming the person you were meant to be, developing grit is absolutely non-negotiable. Let's be clear about something. Grit isn't about being tough for the sake of it. It's not about trying to muscle through everything without acknowledging the challenges. It's about having the mental and emotional resilience to bounce back after failure, to push through adversity, and to keep your eyes on the prize, no matter how far away it may seem. It's about refusing to quit even when everything around you is telling you to do so. And when you build grit, you start to develop an inner strength that carries you through any storm. I know it can feel overwhelming at times, especially when you're faced with challenges that seem too big to tackle. When life throws obstacles in your path, when failure feels inevitable, and when things don't go according to plan, it's easy to want to throw in the towel. But this is where grit comes in. Grit isn't about avoiding failure, it's about learning how to keep moving forward when you fail. It's about knowing that each setback is just a lesson in disguise, and that nothing can stop you as long as you refuse to stop. The truth is, life will always throw challenges your way. It's just part of the process. But those challenges, they're not roadblocks, they're stepping stones. Every difficult situation you face is an opportunity to prove to yourself how strong you really are. It's easy to quit when things aren't going well, but those who succeed are the ones who push through those tough times and keep showing up, day after day. The key is understanding that you can't control everything that happens to you, but you can control how you respond, Think about the people who have achieved extraordinary things. The athletes, the entrepreneurs, the artists, the leaders, what do they all have in common? It's not just talent, and it's not just luck. It's their grit. They've faced obstacles that could have easily knocked them down, but instead of quitting, they used those obstacles to fuel their determination. They understood that the real growth happens in the face of adversity. They knew that success isn't about avoiding failure, it's about overcoming it. And that's exactly what you have to do. The first step to developing grit is understanding that failure is not the end. It's not a reflection of your abilities or your worth, it's simply a part of the journey. Every time you fail, you learn something new. Every time you stumble, you grow stronger. Failure isn't final, it's just a detour, and it's teaching you something you need to know in order to get to the next level. The more you fail, the closer you get to success, because every failure gives you a piece of the puzzle you need to succeed. When you embrace this mindset, failure stops feeling like a threat and starts feeling like a lesson. But here's the thing, it's not just about failing and getting back up. It's about doing it consistently. Grit requires persistence. You have to commit to showing up even when things aren't going well. Even when you don't feel like it, even when it seems like all the odds are stacked against you. The key to developing grit is making that commitment to yourself to keep going no matter what. It's about doing the work every day, even when the progress feels slow or invisible. Over time, that consistency will build momentum, and you'll find yourself much closer to your goals than you ever thought possible. One of the biggest misconceptions about grit is that it's something you're born with. But that's just not true. Grit is a muscle that you can develop and strengthen over time. It's not about being naturally tough or always having the right mindset. It's about choosing to be resilient, day in and day out. It's about making the decision to never give up, even when it feels easier to throw in the towel. And the more you practice this mindset, the more you'll start to see how powerful your grit can be. You also need to remember that grit isn't about doing everything on your own. It's about having the courage to ask for help when you need it, and to surround yourself with people who will support and encourage you through the tough times. The journey to success isn't meant to be traveled alone. Find people who inspire you, who lift you up, and who push you to keep going when you feel like giving up. Grit means knowing that you're not alone in this journey, that there's strength in connection and community. And while persistence is a huge part of developing grit, so is having a clear vision. When you know exactly what you're working toward, it becomes much easier to push through the tough times. A clear vision gives you something to hold on to when everything else seems uncertain. It gives you the motivation to keep going, even when the road ahead seems long and winding. With a clear vision, you're not just working for the sake of working, you're working towards something meaningful, and that sense of purpose makes all the difference when the going gets tough. If you want to develop true grit, you have to embrace discomfort. The journey to success is not always going to feel easy or comfortable. You're going to have days where you doubt yourself, where things don't go according to plan, where you feel like you're running on empty. But those moments of discomfort are the moments where your grit is forged. They are the moments that will make you stronger and more capable. So instead of running from the discomfort, lean into it. Welcome it as a part of the process. When you do, you'll discover just how much you're capable of. When you look back on your life, the moments that will define you aren't the easy wins or the moments when everything went according to plan. The moments that will truly shape you are the ones when you were at your lowest and still chose to keep going. They're the moments when you wanted to quit, but didn't. They're the moments when you decided to rise, even though the odds were against you. And those moments are the ones that will build the grit inside of you, the grit that will carry you through every challenge, every setback, and every obstacle. So ask yourself, asterisk, how bad do you want it? Because if you want it bad enough, you'll develop the grit necessary to go after it. You'll rise when you fall. You'll keep pushing forward when it's hard. And most importantly, you'll never give up on yourself, because you know that your dreams are worth the fight. Asterisk. Grit is the thing that will turn your dreams into reality. Asterisk. And once you develop it, there's nothing that can stop you. Chapter 15. Practice gratitude daily. Gratitude is not just a nice feeling. It's a powerful force that can change the way you experience the world and completely transform your life. Most people think of gratitude as something that's simply a response to receiving something positive, but it's so much more than that. It's a mindset. It's a choice you make every single day to focus on what's good in your life, no matter how challenging things may seem. And when you practice gratitude, you shift your perspective in a way that opens up new possibilities for growth, success, and happiness. You've heard people say that it's important to be thankful for what you have, but I want you to understand something deeper here. Gratitude isn't just about acknowledging the blessings you already have. It's about changing the way you approach every aspect of your life. It's about choosing to see the good, even when it feels like the bad is outweighing it. It's about training your mind to look for the lessons, the opportunities, and the growth in every situation, no matter how difficult. When you begin to practice gratitude, it's like you're hitting a reset button in your mind. The shift is subtle at first, but over time it becomes more profound. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, you start to focus on what's right. Instead of worrying about what you don't have, you begin to appreciate what you do. And when you do this, something amazing happens. Your entire outlook on life changes. You stop feeling like a victim of your circumstances, and you start feeling empowered to make the most of what you've got. Gratitude gives you the strength to keep going, even when things aren't going the way you want them to. It reminds you that you've made it this far, that you've overcome obstacles before, and that you have the power to overcome whatever challenges come next. It gives you the ability to look at failure, not as something to fear, but as something to learn from. It helps you bounce back faster, because you know that, even in the toughest times, there's always something to be thankful for. But here's the catch: gratitude doesn't come naturally for everyone. In fact, many people struggle with it because it's easy to get caught up in the chaos of life, the disappointments, the frustrations, and the things that don't go the way we planned. It's easy to slip into a mindset of scarcity, where we focus only on what's lacking in our lives. But the truth is, we all have something to be grateful for. Even on our worst days, there's always something good, even if it's small. It's a matter of looking for it. It's a matter of training your mind to see the blessings instead of the burdens. Here's a simple exercise that can help you develop a gratitude practice that will serve you for a lifetime. Every day, take a moment, whether it's in the morning, at night, or even during a break in your day, to pause and think of 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big things. They don't have to be life-altering or dramatic. It could be something as simple as the warmth of the sun on your face, the kindness of a stranger, or the fact that you have a roof over your head and food on your table. The key is to acknowledge them. Say them out loud, write them down, or reflect on them quietly, but make it a daily habit. Over time, you'll start to notice something incredible. The more you focus on gratitude, the more things you'll find to be thankful for. Your mind will begin to look for positives instead of negatives, and you'll begin to appreciate the little moments that you might have overlooked before. You'll find yourself feeling more grounded, more content, and more at peace with where you are in your journey. Gratitude doesn't just shift your perspective, it transforms your entire experience of life. But the power of gratitude goes beyond just changing the way you think. It also affects your relationships, your work, and even your health. When you practice gratitude, you start to feel more connected to the people around you. You begin to appreciate them for who they are and for the impact they have on your life. You start to see the value in others and the gifts they bring to your world. And when you express your gratitude to others, it strengthens your bonds, deepens your connections, and creates an environment of positivity and support. Gratitude is contagious. When you show gratitude to others, it inspires them to do the same. In your work, gratitude can also play a transformative role. We often think of work as something we have to do, something that's a means to an end. But when you approach your work with gratitude, you begin to see it as an opportunity rather than a chore. You start to feel thankful for the chance to contribute, to learn, and to grow. You begin to appreciate the people you work with, the skills you're developing, and the progress you're making, even if it's not always as fast as you'd like. Gratitude can fuel your motivation, increase your sense of purpose, and make your work feel more meaningful. And let's not forget about your health. Practicing gratitude has been linked to improved physical and mental well-being. When you focus on what you're grateful for, your stress levels decrease, your mood improves, and your overall sense of well-being rises. Gratitude helps you manage negative emotions like anxiety and depression, and it boosts your immune system too. In short, gratitude isn't just good for your mind, it's good for your body as well. But what happens when you face really tough times? When life doesn't seem to be going your way, when the challenges feel overwhelming, and when everything seems to be falling apart? This is where gratitude becomes even more crucial. It's easy to be grateful when everything's going well, but true gratitude is about being thankful, even in the midst of hardship. It's about recognizing that, even in your darkest moments, there's still light. You may not see it right away, but it's there waiting for you to notice it. During those difficult times, gratitude doesn't mean ignoring your struggles or pretending everything is fine. It means acknowledging your difficulties while still choosing to find something to appreciate. Maybe it's the love and support of family and friends. Maybe it's the strength within you that's helping you keep going. Or maybe it's simply the fact that you're still breathing, still here, still able to try again. Gratitude in these moments helps you build resilience. It helps you find the strength to keep moving forward, even when you're not sure how much further you can go. There's a deep sense of peace that comes with cultivating gratitude. It allows you to let go of the constant need to strive, to chase, to fight for more. Instead, you begin to embrace where you are and appreciate what you already have. This doesn't mean you stop striving for more in your life. It simply means you do it from a place of abundance, not lack. You do it from a place of joy and fulfillment, rather than from a place of neediness. If you want to change your life, start by changing your focus. Start by making gratitude a daily practice. It's not about perfection, it's about consistency. The more you practice gratitude, the more you'll realize that your life is already filled with blessings. And when you start to see the world through the lens of gratitude, you'll start attracting more of the good stuff. Your energy will shift, your relationships will deepen, your work will feel more meaningful, and your health will improve. Gratitude isn't just an attitude, it's a way of life. When you choose to live with gratitude, you open yourself up to the kind of happiness and success that so many people are searching for. And you'll find that in the end, it's not the big things that bring you the most joy. It's the little things, the moments of connection, the simple pleasures, the opportunities to grow and learn. Gratitude makes life rich and meaningful, and when you embrace it fully, you'll discover that everything you need is already within your reach. Chapter 16. Use visualization to achieve your goals. Visualization is one of the most powerful tools you have at your disposal to shape your future and create the success you desire. If you can see it in your mind, you can make it a reality. The incredible part is that this process doesn't require a special skill or some kind of magic. It simply requires focus, intention, and the belief that your goals are not only possible, but inevitable. When you understand the power of visualization, you realize that the world truly begins to bend toward your vision. Imagine for a moment that you could unlock the power to achieve anything you wanted. What would your life look like? What would you be doing? Who would you be with? Now here's the secret. The ability to create that future already lies within you. The first step is to visualize it, really see it in your mind's eye, as vividly as you can. This isn't about wishful thinking or daydreaming. It's about creating a detailed mental image of the life you want to lead, the success you want to achieve, and the person you want to become. Visualization is more than just closing your eyes and imagining something good happening. It's about getting so clear on your goals and desires that you can see the specifics, the sights, the sounds, the feelings of that future reality. The clearer you can visualize something, the more your brain starts to align itself with that vision. It's like creating a blueprint for your mind, one that guides your actions, decisions, and even your emotions toward what you want to achieve. But here's where it gets really powerful. Visualization doesn't just work on a conscious level. It taps into your subconscious, which is where your deepest beliefs and behaviors are formed. The more you visualize success, the more you begin to believe that success is not just possible, but guaranteed. And when you believe that something is possible, your actions naturally follow. Your brain starts to recognize the opportunities you need to take, the steps you need to follow, and the resources that are available to you. You start to notice things that you might have missed before, and you develop the courage to take the risks that once seemed too daunting. Your inner confidence grows, and you begin to operate at a higher level because you know that you're already on the path to success. Think of visualization like a rehearsal for your mind. Just like an athlete visualizes their performance before stepping onto the field, you can visualize yourself achieving your goals before you take action. This mental practice primes your mind for success, giving you a sense of clarity and direction. It's like a mental warm-up that prepares you to perform at your best when it counts. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment to start working toward your goals. You begin right now in your mind, by visualizing the life you want. One of the biggest barriers people face when it comes to visualization is doubt. They may struggle with believing that their vision is achievable, or they might think that they don't deserve the success they dream about. But let me tell you something important. The moment you start doubting your ability to achieve your vision, you're putting the brakes on your potential. If you allow doubt to creep in, it can derail your efforts before you even get started. That's why your visualization needs to be filled with belief. When you visualize, you must do so with absolute certainty that your success is not just possible, but already on its way. The moment you embrace that certainty, your actions will follow, and you'll start to see the results you've been visualizing. It's important to make visualization a regular practice in your life. The more often you engage in this mental exercise, the more natural it will become. And when it becomes natural, it begins to influence everything you do. Visualizing your success allows you to stay focused on your goals, even when challenges arise. When obstacles come your way, and they will, your visualization will serve as a reminder of where you're going and why you're doing what you're doing. It'll give you the strength to keep moving forward, even when things get tough. Visualization isn't just for big goals or long-term success. It's incredibly effective for smaller daily tasks as well. Before you go into a meeting, imagine yourself handling it with confidence and ease. Before you make an important decision, visualize the outcome you want and see yourself making the best choice. Before you face a challenge, picture yourself overcoming it with grace and strength. Every time you visualize, you reinforce the belief that you can handle whatever comes your way. And the more you practice this, the more prepared you feel in the real world. But visualization is not only about seeing success, it's also about feeling it. One of the most powerful aspects of visualization is the emotional connection you create with your goals. When you visualize, you want to engage all your senses. How does it feel to reach your goal? How does it feel to be in that moment of achievement? What emotions are you experiencing as you walk toward your success? These feelings are not just fleeting. They are the key to manifesting your goals. The more you can associate positive emotions with your vision, the more you will be drawn to making that vision a reality. Think about it this way. When you're emotionally connected to your goals, you have more motivation to take action. If you visualize success with strong positive emotions, it becomes easier to push through the tough times and stay committed. On the other hand, if you only visualize in a detached, logical way, it's harder to stay motivated when obstacles arise. Your emotional connection to your vision gives you the fuel you need to keep going, no matter what challenges stand in your way. Visualization is not just about imagining the end result, it's about focusing on the process too. Sometimes we get so caught up in the end goal that we forget to visualize the steps it will take to get there. But success doesn't happen overnight, and it certainly doesn't happen by accident. It takes planning, action, and perseverance. So when you visualize, don't just focus on the finish line, also visualize yourself taking the steps, overcoming the obstacles, and making the small decisions that will lead you to your goal. When you break your goal down into manageable steps and visualize yourself completing each one, it becomes less intimidating. It also helps you stay focused on the present moment, which is essential for making steady progress. You've probably heard the saying, "If you can dream it, you can do it." It's more than just an inspirational quote, it's a universal truth. Visualization helps you turn your dreams into plans, your plans into actions, and your actions into results. But it all starts with your vision. If you can see it clearly, with belief and emotion behind it, your mind and body will start working together to make that vision a reality. The world starts to respond to your vision, and you find yourself in the right place at the right time, meeting the right people, and taking the right actions. That's the power of visualization. So here's what I want you to take away from all of this. Visualization is not some mystical or abstract concept. It's a tool that you can use right now to change your life. It's about creating a mental image of the future you want, and then believing that it's not only possible but inevitable. When you consistently visualize, you begin to attract the circumstances, people, and opportunities that align with your vision. It doesn't happen by chance. It happens because you've decided, with conviction and clarity, that it will. And with that mindset, there is no limit to what you can achieve. The future you desire is already waiting for you. It's simply a matter of making it real, one visualization at a time. Chapter 17. Develop a winning morning routine. The most powerful way to change your life and set yourself up for success is to start your day with intention, focus, and a winning mindset. The way you begin your morning determines the kind of day you're going to have, and ultimately, the kind of life you will lead. Think about it. Your morning sets the tone for everything that follows. If you start your day in chaos, in stress, or with no clear direction, it's much harder to turn that around as the day goes on. But if you start strong, with a sense of purpose and control, you've already won half the battle before you even begin. This is why a winning morning routine is the secret weapon for achieving lasting success. When you wake up, how you choose to spend those first few hours, or even the first few minutes, has a ripple effect on everything that follows. It's not just about waking up and going through the motions. It's about waking up with a plan, with energy, and with a clear focus on what you want to accomplish. Every successful person I've ever studied or worked with shares one thing in common. They start their day with a routine that empowers them. They don't leave their success to chance. They take control right from the moment they open their eyes. Starting your day with intention doesn't mean you have to wake up at the crack of dawn or engage in some elaborate ritual. It simply means making the most of the time you have. A winning morning routine doesn't have to be long or complicated. It's about creating a set of habits that fuel your mind, body, and spirit, so you're ready to take on the challenges of the day and move closer to your goals. One of the key elements of a successful morning routine is creating a sense of calm and clarity right from the start. When you wake up, how do you feel? Are you rushing around, feeling overwhelmed by everything you need to do? Or do you take a few moments to ground yourself, to focus on the present moment, and to set your intentions for the day? If you're starting your day in a frenzy, it's almost impossible to feel grounded or productive. That's why the first few minutes of your day are so important. Take a few deep breaths, center yourself, and give yourself a moment to think about what you want to accomplish. This simple act of pausing before diving into the chaos can make all the difference. The next step in creating a winning morning routine is to take care of your body. You've probably heard the phrase, "You can't pour from an empty cup." Well, your body is your cup. If you don't take care of it, if you don't fuel it with the right food, exercise, and rest, you won't have the energy or the stamina to show up at your best in the world. Starting your morning by moving your body, whether that's stretching, doing a short workout, or simply taking a brisk walk, sends a signal to your brain that you're ready to take action. It boosts your energy, increases your focus, and helps to clear away any fog that might have accumulated overnight. You're literally waking up your body and mind so they can work together in harmony. But it's not just about physical exercise, it's about nourishing your body with the right foods too. If you start your day with a sugary breakfast or a heavy, greasy meal, you're setting yourself up for an energy crash later on. But if you choose a healthy, balanced breakfast that fuels you, you're giving yourself the foundation you need for a productive and successful day. Think of your morning meals as a way to invest in your energy and well-being. It doesn't have to be fancy, but it does need to be something that supports your body's needs. A simple, wholesome meal can make all the difference in how you feel and perform throughout the day. Another important piece of a winning morning routine is to feed your mind. The first few moments of your day are the perfect time to prime your mind for success. What you choose to think about or expose yourself to in the morning has a powerful impact on the rest of your day. You can either start your day by diving into social media, checking emails, and getting caught up in the chaos of the outside world, or you can take a few moments to focus on something positive, inspiring or uplifting. Whether it's reading a few pages of a motivational book, listening to an inspiring podcast, or simply setting your intentions for the day, feeding your mind with positivity and purpose will fuel you with the motivation you need to tackle whatever comes your way. This is where gratitude comes in. Taking a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for sets a powerful tone for the rest of the day. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's wrong or what you don't have to what's right and what you already have. It helps you see the abundance in your life, even when things feel challenging. When you start your day with gratitude, you're starting with a mindset of abundance, not scarcity. You're looking for opportunities, not obstacles. This simple shift in perspective can radically change the way you approach everything from work to relationships to personal growth. Another vital element of a successful morning routine is having clear, actionable goals for the day ahead. What are you aiming to accomplish today? When you start your day without a clear plan, it's easy to get sidetracked or overwhelmed. But when you have a specific goal in mind, something tangible that you can work toward, you're more likely to stay focused and productive. This doesn't mean you need to map out your entire day in minute detail, but having a few key priorities that you can focus on will help you stay on track and prevent distractions from derailing you. It's also essential to leave space in your morning for reflection and mindfulness. Take a few moments to connect with yourself, to check in with your emotions, and to see how you're feeling. Are there any areas of your life that need attention? Is there any mental or emotional clutter that's weighing you down? By creating a morning routine that includes time for self-reflection, you're giving yourself the opportunity to check in with your inner world and make any adjustments you need to move forward. This sense of self-awareness is a critical part of personal growth and success. Lastly, remember that a winning morning routine doesn't have to be perfect. The key is consistency, not perfection. You're building habits that will serve you in the long run, so don't get discouraged if you miss a day or if things don't go according to plan. What matters is that you show up for yourself every day, no matter what. Over time, these small, consistent actions will compound, and before you know it, you'll have created a foundation for success that supports you day in and day out. The truth is, the way you start your day is the way you live your life. If you wake up every day with intention, with purpose, and with a focus on what matters most, you're setting yourself up for success, not just today, but every day. The power of a winning morning routine is that it builds momentum, and momentum is what propels you forward. It keeps you moving toward your goals, even when things get tough. It keeps you grounded in your vision, even when distractions arise, and it gives you the energy and clarity you need to take on whatever challenges come your way. So start your day strong, make the most of your mornings, and you'll make the most of your life. Chapter 18. Focus on solutions, not problems. When you face a problem, what do? Do you get stuck in it, letting the weight of the issue take over, or do you shift your focus and look for solutions? The truth is, every challenge you encounter in life is an opportunity to grow. But if you focus only on the problem, you'll find yourself overwhelmed and paralyzed by it. It's natural to feel a sense of panic when something goes wrong, but that's when the most important shift needs to happen. You have to focus on solutions, not the problem itself. This simple shift in mindset can completely transform how you approach your life and your work. The world is full of problems. They're unavoidable. Whether it's an issue at work, a personal setback, a health challenge, or something else, problems will arise. That's just part of life. But the way you respond to those problems is what defines your success. You see, most people get stuck in the problem. They see it as something insurmountable, something that's standing in their way. They complain about it, feel stressed about it, and waste precious time and energy thinking about how bad it is. But the moment you decide to stop focusing on the problem and start focusing on the solution, that's when things begin to change. It's about retraining your brain to stop dwelling on what went wrong and start figuring out how to make it right. It's about asking yourself, what can I do right now to move forward? Rather than, why is this happening to me? The more you focus on solutions, the more empowered you feel. When you shift your focus from the problem to the solution, you're essentially telling yourself that you are in control, that you have the power to make things better. One of the most common reasons people get stuck in problems is that they don't believe they have the power to fix things. They think, this is too big, this is too complicated, there's nothing I can do about it. But that's simply not true. The fact is, you always have more control than you think. Even when things seem out of your hands, there are always steps you can take to improve the situation. It may not be easy, and it may not be immediate, but focusing on solutions gives you the mental and emotional power to take those steps. The first step to focusing on solutions is to shift your mindset from victimhood to empowerment. When you focus on the problem, you are in a state of helplessness. You feel like things are happening to you, that you have no control. But when you focus on the solution, you take control. You see that you have the ability to change your circumstances. This mindset shift doesn't happen overnight. It's something that requires practice. But once you start thinking this way, your entire approach to life changes. You'll find yourself tackling challenges with a sense of excitement and curiosity rather than dread. Another key to focusing on solutions is to break down the problem into smaller, more manageable parts. Often, the reason we get stuck in problems is that we see them as this massive, insurmountable issue. But when you break a problem down into smaller steps, it becomes less overwhelming. Instead of thinking this is too big to handle, you'll be thinking, okay, what's the first step I can take to move forward? That shift from too big to I can do this is incredibly powerful. It turns a mountain into a series of small hills that are much easier to climb. As you begin to break down the problem, take time to really analyze the situation. What are the root causes? What are the solutions that could work? Don't just focus on the first possible solution that comes to mind. Take a step back and think critically. Brainstorm different ways to approach the situation. Ask for advice from others who may have been through similar challenges. Sometimes, the best solutions come from looking at things from a different perspective. When you start seeing more options, You'll feel more confident that a solution is within your reach. Another powerful way to focus on solutions is to maintain a positive attitude, no matter what. It's easy to get caught up in negativity when things aren't going well. It's natural to feel frustrated or discouraged, but you have to make a conscious choice not to stay stuck in those feelings. When you choose to stay positive, you change the energy around you. You open yourself up to possibilities. You begin to see opportunities in places you once saw only obstacles. Maintaining a positive mindset isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about deciding to focus on what you can control, what you can change, and what you can improve. That positivity will carry you through the toughest challenges. But here's the catch. Focusing on solutions doesn't mean you ignore the reality of the problem. It doesn't mean you pretend there's no issue or that everything is fine when it isn't. Focusing on solutions is about acknowledging the problem, but then choosing to take action to move beyond it. It's about accepting that yes, something has gone wrong, but knowing that you have the power to fix it. When you focus on the solution, you're no longer trapped by the problem. You're free to take control and move forward. In every situation, there are always choices. There are always ways to move forward, even if they're not immediately obvious. The key is to stop focusing on what's wrong and start focusing on what you can do to make it right. The more you practice this mindset, the more you'll start seeing solutions everywhere you look. Problems will still come your way, but you'll approach them with confidence and clarity, knowing that the solution is always within reach. It's not always going to be easy. There will be days when it feels like everything is going wrong and the solution isn't clear. But that's when you need to dig deep and remind yourself that you've overcome challenges before. You've faced obstacles in your life and come out stronger on the other side. This challenge is no different. If you focus on the solution, you will always find a way through. So the next time you encounter a problem, don't waste time focusing on the negative. Don't get stuck in the why me mindset. Instead, ask yourself, what can I do right now to fix this? What's the first step I can take to get back on track? Then take action. Focus on the solution. You have the power to solve any problem that comes your way. It's time to stop getting bogged down by the problem and start living a life that's driven by solutions. When you make that shift, you'll find yourself moving through life with more confidence, more resilience, and more success. Chapter 19. Take action. Now, if you're waiting for the perfect moment to take action, let me tell you something. That moment is now, right here. Right in front of you. You don't have to wait for some magical moment when everything aligns perfectly. Life doesn't work like that. Success isn't going to come to you because you've been thinking about it for a long time, or because you've been waiting for all the signs to line up. No, it comes when you make the decision to take action. Right now, today. We all have dreams. We all have goals. But the difference between those who achieve their dreams and those who never see them come to life is action. You might think that it's the right circumstances or the right time that's going to lead to success, but the truth is, nothing happens without action. You can't wait for your dreams to show up on their own. You have to go out there and make them happen. But so many people get caught up in overthinking, in doubting themselves, in fear of making a mistake, and they never actually take that first step. They keep putting it off, saying, I'll start tomorrow. I'll start next week. I'll wait for things to be more perfect. And what happens? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Procrastination is one of the biggest barriers to success. It's a silent killer of dreams. The longer you wait to act, the more time you waste, and the less likely you are to ever reach your goals. You have to act now, even if the conditions aren't ideal, even if you don't have everything figured out yet, Even if you're scared, action creates momentum. It's like pushing a boulder. In the beginning, it's hard, it's slow, and it feels like you're getting nowhere. But once that boulder starts moving, it picks up speed. It gets easier, and eventually, it starts moving on its own. That's what action does. It builds momentum, and once you get it going, it's unstoppable. You don't have to have all the answers before you take that first step. If you wait until everything is perfect, you'll never move. The key is to start. Start small if you have to, but start. Every small step you take toward your goal is one step closer to making it a reality. The only way you'll know if something works is to try it. Don't wait for a guarantee of success. There's no such thing as a guarantee. Life is about taking risks and learning from the results. Some things won't work, and that's okay. You'll adjust, learn, and try again. But none of that happens if you don't take action. Sitting back and waiting for the perfect moment will only keep you stuck. The most successful people are the ones who took action when others were still thinking about it. They didn't have all the resources, they didn't have a clear path laid out for them, and they certainly didn't have all the answers. But they took action anyway. And because they did, they built momentum. They made progress, and as they kept moving forward, they got better, smarter, and more confident. Action builds your experience. Action builds your skills. Action builds your character. And it all starts with deciding that now is the time to act. If you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, or unsure about where to start, remember that the first step is always the hardest. It's the part that requires the most courage. But once you take it, the rest becomes easier. The key is to start, even if it's messy. Even if you don't feel ready, you'll never feel fully ready. That's just how it is. But when you push through that uncertainty and take the first step, you begin to unlock the doors to the future you want. And once you've made that move, you'll find that the next step will be easier, and the next after that even easier. But don't just take action for the sake of it. Make sure you're taking intentional, deliberate action that's aligned with your goals. It's easy to get caught up in busyness, to feel like you're doing a lot of things, but not actually moving forward. Taking action doesn't mean doing random tasks just to feel productive. It means focusing on what will move you closer to where you want to go. It means choosing actions that get you closer to your desired outcome, no matter how small they seem. Small actions, when done consistently, will compound over time and lead to big results. You might feel like you're not making progress fast enough, but the truth is, success is a long game. It's about showing up every day, doing the work, and taking the next right step. Even when it feels slow, even when the results aren't immediate, that action is making a difference. Every day that you take action is one more day closer to your goal. It's easy to look around and see others achieving success, but remember, everyone has their own journey. What matters is that you stay focused on yours and keep taking steps forward. And when you do take that action, do it with conviction. Don't half-ass it. Don't do it with hesitation or doubt. Go all in. When you commit fully to your action, when you believe in your purpose and give it everything you've got, that's when things start to change. The world responds to confidence. It responds to action. When you take action with energy, focus, and belief, you draw opportunities to you. People see your drive, your passion, and your commitment, and they want to help. The universe moves when you move. But if you stand still, waiting for the perfect moment, nothing will happen. Action is the key to unlocking everything you want in life. So ask yourself, what's one thing you can do right now to move forward? What's one small action you can take today that will bring you closer to your dream? It doesn't have to be big, but it has to be something. Don't wait any longer. The time to act is now. You don't have to have everything figured out. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to take that first step, and then the next, and then the next. With every action, you'll learn, you'll grow, and you'll get closer to the life you want. It all starts with one simple decision: to act. And that's the most powerful decision you can make. Chapter 20. Commit to a no excuses life. There's no magic formula for success. No secret trick that's going to make everything fall into place overnight. But here's the truth. The people who achieve lasting success aren't the ones who find shortcuts or the easiest route. They're the ones who commit. They make a promise to themselves to never back down, to push through the challenges, and to keep going when everyone else has given up. If you want success, real, meaningful success, the one thing you need more than anything else is commitment. You have to be all in. No excuses. No backing out. Commitment is a decision you make. It's not something that happens to you. You can't wait for motivation to show up. You can't wait for the perfect moment when everything aligns and feels just right. You have to decide that you're going to keep going, no matter what. Every single day, you have to choose to stay committed to your goals. It's not always easy. In fact, it's rarely easy. There will be days when you feel like quitting. Days when it feels like the universe is against you. Days when things aren't moving fast enough or aren't working the way you thought they would. But here's the thing. Those are the days that matter the most. When you feel like quitting is when you need to push the hardest. Those are the moments that define whether or not you'll make it. And if you stay committed, if you push through the hard times, that's when you'll see the results. But commitment doesn't just mean showing up when things are good. It's about showing up even when things aren't going your way. It's about being there for yourself, even when you don't feel like it. The people who succeed are the ones who keep going when the excitement fades, when the newness wears off, when the progress is slow, and when the challenges seem insurmountable. They stay committed not because everything is easy, but because they have a vision, a clear purpose, and an unshakable belief that they're on the right path. The truth is, life is going to throw obstacles your way. There will be days when it feels like the world is working against you. You'll face setbacks, failures, and disappointments. You'll question whether it's all worth it. But commitment is what keeps you going through those tough times. It's what helps you get back up when you fall. It's what keeps your focus sharp and your heart full of hope, even when everything else is falling apart. You have to be willing to keep going, to keep working toward your goals, even when the road is tough. That's how you build resilience. That's how you create lasting success. Success isn't just about what you do on the good days. It's about how you show up on the bad days. It's about choosing to keep moving forward, even when you're exhausted, frustrated, or feeling defeated. It's about pushing through the resistance, the doubts, and the fear. When you commit to your success, you're committing to every part of the journey, the highs and the lows. And when you push through the tough moments, that's when you grow. That's when you build the strength and the character that will carry you forward. But commitment isn't just about grit. It's also about consistency. It's easy to be motivated for a few days, even a few weeks. But lasting success comes from showing up day after day, no matter how you feel. It comes from doing the work when no one's watching, when no one's cheering you on, and when no one's there to hold you accountable. You have to do the work for yourself. You have to show up, even when it feels like no one else cares, because the truth is, your success is yours and yours alone. No one else can walk your path. No one else can do the work for you. You have to be the one to put in the time, the effort and the dedication, and that means committing to the long haul. Commitment is also about taking responsibility for your life. It's about owning your choices and not blaming others or circumstances for your situation. You are where you are because of the decisions you've made, and that's a powerful thing. When you take responsibility for your actions, you take control of your future. No one can make you do anything. You have the power to shape your life, to create the future you want. But it all starts with commitment. It starts with deciding that you're going to take charge of your life and take action toward your goals every single day. No excuses, no blaming, no letting fear or doubt hold you back. I know it's easy to make excuses. It's easy to say, I don't have enough time, or I don't have enough money, or I'm not ready yet. It's easy to tell yourself that you'll do it tomorrow, or when things are better, or when you feel more confident. But the truth is, there will always be something in the way. There will always be challenges. There will always be things that try to distract you from your path. But the successful people, the ones who make it, they don't let those things stop them. They don't wait for the perfect moment. They don't wait for the right conditions. They act now, they commit fully, and take the next step. No matter what. The key to success isn't waiting for the right time. It's about creating the right time. It's about making your own opportunities. When you commit to your goals, you make things happen. You create your own momentum. And that momentum carries you forward, even when the road is tough. That's what commitment does. It helps you push through the obstacles. It keeps you focused on your goals, even when everything else is trying to pull you away. So if you're serious about achieving your goals, about creating the life you want, then you need to commit. No excuses, no hesitation. Make the decision today, right now, that you are going to fully commit to your success. You are going to show up every day, no matter what. You're going to keep moving forward, even when it's hard. You're going to keep taking action, even when it feels like you're not making progress. And you're going to stay committed to your vision, no matter what. Commitment is the foundation of everything. Without it, nothing happens. But with it, everything is possible. So make the decision now to commit fully to your dreams, to your goals, and to your success. No excuses, just commitment. And once you make that commitment, there's nothing that can stop you.